There it is. Welcome everybody to the Minnesota Dynasty Season 5 off-season live stream. It begins now. How's it going, guys? My name is MrHurriicane, and we have a fun few hours ahead of us going through the off-season of Season 5 and making the move to Season 6. For the first time in a Dynasty, I've made it to year 6. Remember, UTSA ended after 5 seasons, and now we're going a step further with Minnesota. And so we'll see what Season 6 brings as we are 9-4, finish the year with a bowl victory, and now we'll see what awaits. But welcome everybody to the live stream. I'm making sure this thing is working, actually. As the late comments are rolling in, maybe I don't think I was. It's 4:01. I probably started at like 4 minutes and like 50 seconds or something. Took me a while to get some links set up and whatnot. But we are good to go. I'm not that late. If late at all. Probably not at all, to be more specific. And truthful, actually. But okay, it's linked on Twitter. I'm going to put a scheduled tweet for 4:30 p.m. I love TweetDeck for this reason. Scheduled tweets. Streaming Minnesota Dynasty offseason. And by the way, I have the camera in the lower left this time because if I go to the roster screens, I cut off kind of part of a name of players if I am in the upper right-hand corner. So that's why I have changed it up. Alright, so the links are there. I think we're good to go. Man, that's messed up. What about your mobile people? The mobile's coming. Mobile never works for the first like 4 minutes. I don't watch anything on mobile, so I'm not sure why. And it's nothing to do with my settings. It's mobile devices. I don't know. It's not my fault. Anyway, how many viewers we have in here? The view counter is probably updating. There was a lot of people in here, actually. I was in the chat 40 minutes ago, and people were already talking about the offseason, about different players and who's going to be drafted. It's really cool to see you guys get into the games and the series as a whole. That's why I like reading the comments so much in the videos, because I've created the experience that I've always wanted to create, and it's really cool to see people enjoy it. $3.99 now. That's pretty awesome. Thank you all for coming, and let's get into the off season in a sec. Okay, we're not ready yet. We gotta see exactly. Well, we gotta recap season 5 still. That's what we do every time, and it takes a lot longer than I always think it's going to take. Right now, I think we can get through the recap in 15 minutes. I know it's not going to happen. So, by the way, if the stream ever crashes, I'll be right back. I hope it doesn't crash, but if it does, just know it's no big deal. So, 9-4, 5-4 in the Big Ten. We started off beating Colorado State, and then had some pretty tough games in the conference. Indiana was pretty good at the time, at least the ranking was. And then Ohio State, of course, we won that game. Then Iowa and Purdue were a problem, so we were 2-3, then rattle off 6 in a row with the help of our defense. Look at these points allowed, 12, 7, 16. This was a good stretch of defense. And sadly, towards the end, it never really got back to that dominant form until the Ole Miss game, where we were winning 35-0 through like 3 quarters. I think it was 35-0, and we end up winning another bowl game, our second in a row, concluding season 5. Yeah, mobile people can't. I'm seeing a lot of mobile comments, and I know it's got to work soon. I'm not sure why it does this, but it does this. Not that the mobile people can hear me say that, but PC people can. Computer. Anyway, what was I going to do next? I was going to... Well, we might as well look at... Oh, I want to look at the coach. What is it? I forget exactly where they put this. I think it's in coach contracts, where you see the history record-wise of your team. Oh, wow, why does this say Madden 25 Ultimate Team? Let me update this. I changed it earlier. I edited this like 4 hours ago. For some reason, it doesn't like it. There. Updated. My bad. Mobile is working. Mobile is up now. Sweet! Mobile people, welcome to the live stream. In case you didn't know, the streams never work for the first, 5 minutes on mobile. And I don't know why, but that's the way it is. Anyway, we're going through the recap right now of the end of Season 5. And you can see once I took over, a couple 6 and 7 years, then an 8 and 6, then a 7 and 6, finally winning a bowl game. And this year, took it a step further, go 9 and 4 and win a bowl game. And so now, what's up next? 9 and 4 here with a freshman quarterback. A lot of talent on this team. So what's to come in Season 6? Expectations are now greater. They expect 9 wins per year. And we're not so much hovering around 500 like we had been. And we are 66 games into the series and plenty more to come. Like I said, this is going at least 8 seasons. Not going to talk a lot more about how long I think the series is going to be, but expect at least 8 seasons for now. Now let's look at some statistics. And I need to write some of these down. I came a little bit unprepared, but it's all good. 676 viewers in the stream right now. Season 5 stats. I wrote states. Whoop. Alright. We had the freshman quarterback Andy McKenzie coming in this first year. And he was everything as advertised. Andy has that dual threat ability. Great speed, excellent arm. We saw it many times. Just 60-yard bombs down the field, out of the pocket. It didn't matter. 23 passing touchdowns, 10 interceptions. I got to write down. Well, I'm also capturing this, so I don't really need to write it down right now. I can write stuff down in a little bit when I'm doing the edit. As long as I have this on my capture version, I'm good to go and I can take notes later if need be. Then Andy gets only 13 yards rushing. This is a problem I have with the NCAA. Why do rushing yards take away from, or why do sacks take away from rushing yards? They shouldn't take away from anything besides total offense. It should not negate a player's stats. I don't like that at all. Should be the NFL's way. But 4 rushing touchdowns, 4 runs of 20 or more, long of 40, and 8 rushing fumbles. And you're going to get that with a running quarterback. So 4 rushing, 23 passing, 27 total touchdowns, and 10 picks. And Streveler barely played because we had Andy McKenzie. You guys know how it is. The senior didn't get to play much. That's a lot of sacks, too. It took way too many sacks this season. O-line had some problems on the interior, but we'll be better next year, I think, on the offensive line. In the running game, Kevin Martindale, he was going to shatter personal bests. He only barely bested them now, yardage-wise anyway. The broken collarbone late in the year obviously halted his entire season, and then Berkeley Edwards played the rest of the way, but he's going to be entering his senior year, and I'm excited to have Kevin Martindale back. I missed his speed. I missed him on offense. And you can see the receiving numbers in 2 years ago were awesome. Didn't need him as much this year in the passing game because we have so much receiving talent. So, just shy of 800 career rushing yards this season for Martindale. And Berkeley Edwards ends up with 723 as he graduates. He is now done in this series. You can see his numbers through 4 years. I thought he was very good for us. Took him a while to get really into our series, but once he got in, we saw that he was good. Then we had Maurice Pratt, who got some playing time when Kevin Martindale went down, and we saw some of the big playmaking ability from him. He had 3 rushing touchdowns, a couple big ones, and I think he had a couple big catches as well. I know one for sure in one of those last games. So you can see a little bit of production from him. He's going to play a lot more this coming year. Obviously, no more Berkeley Edwards, but I'm not going to be using Pratt really. I don't know. I'll have to see, but I want someone to back up Martindale who can get a lot of carries, and I have someone in mind. You're going to see him soon. Let's move on to receivers, though. We got our guy, Doug Duckett. Duckett did lose us a game with a last-second drop in the end zone. I forget who we were playing in that one, but it was fairly early in the year. But then, we didn't see much bad from Doug Duckett the rest of the way. 71 catches, 895 yards. All of these are career bests, except for yards after the catch. And he had actually a career low in drops. So, Doug, It's going to be your senior year. You're going to probably be the number 1 guy. Don't drop the ball. Please. Douglas. And rushing. Getting a few jet sweeps every now and then. That's what I like to do. And then Drew Wolotarski, our senior receiver. I had been hyping him since the first year he played, saying that he was going to become a big part of this team, and he definitely was, although numbers were down in his senior year as Doug Duckett ended up getting more production. Drew's pretty much on the outside all the time, not a lot of short passes, which I like, a lot of safe short throws. So you can see his average yards per reception, 16.6, is usually way down the field. His shortest route typically is a slant, and he's not the fastest guy, so I didn't use him in a lot of, crossing patterns or the simple screens, quick outs. It was more for the intermediate to larger chunks, so you didn't see a lot of production. But Drew was good in this series. Definitely our best receiver. Made plenty of big plays and rarely ever dropped a pass. You can see here 13 in 4 years. And I'm not sure how many of those were in traffic. So Drew was good, and I'm going to miss him as our number 1 receiver. But I think Doug is ready. Next, we had Eric Carter, who we saw glimpses of in the bowl game in Season 3. And this year, all we saw was highlight catches from Eric Carter. Leaping, he's 5'11". He's not supposed to be, on paper, doesn't look like a great jump ball guy, but man, this guy can jump, make spectacular catches, and he came down with the big plays when we needed him. 5 touchdown catches on 30 total receptions and 17.5 yards a catch. So I'm going to miss Eric Carter as a role-playing, big-time playmaker for our offense. Next, Adam Kirkpatrick. I underutilized the tight end. Adam Kirkpatrick's a good receiving threat, but a little bit underused, like I said. We use usually 3 wide sets most of the time, and we have pretty good receiving running backs, and so somebody's going to get kind of snubbed, and that's been Adam Kirkpatrick. Only 26 catches this year. Actually, production has been going down in most categories. So I think you're going to see him revitalized in his senior year because we're graduating 2 of our top 3 receivers, and I'm unsure about the rest of our receiving depth. And then here are a few more numbers down the list. David Clark, he's a junior, a true junior, and he has not really contributed much as a receiver. He's been our return specialist, basically. And now this year in his senior season, I expect him to get a bigger receiving role, and we'll see if he can handle it. Only 8 catches in each of the last 2 years, and, it's really going to be a question of if he can handle more snaps and make us some plays when we need him, like Eric Carter. He's got more size and more speed, so we'll see what we have to work with here in Season 6. Martin Parker, I want to see what this guy can do. He's a redshirt freshman. He's just buried because of the receiving depth we had, so he rarely played, but he was a 5-star prospect that has stayed, and I hope he stays for Season 6. Don't transfer. You got to stay here, Martin Parker, because your time is about to come. Down the list, a couple more names. Now to defense. First-year starter Maurice Hudson was a run-stopping middle linebacker that I really enjoyed as a part of this defense. I was really kind of unsure about the middle linebacker spot, but he's got the prototypical size, 6'5", 224, maybe like a little bit more weight, but I have no problem with 6'5", 224. 2 sacks, 85 tackles, no interceptions, but he had a few deflections, 4. And I like those big linebackers who can knock down passes over the middle. Next up, we had Andre Gaines, who I think has steadily improved throughout his career. I remember his freshman year, I really didn't like a lot of what I saw, but now we're seeing him fill in more in the run game. I'd like to see more plays on the ball, more deflections, more turnovers. But, Gaines is a solid player. I don't think he's an elite player, but he's solid at strong safety. And now one of the guys moving on, we have senior linebacker De Niro last year, who really got his big-time playing time this year only, and I thought might have been our best defensive player all year with 4 interceptions and obviously one of our leaders in tackles, and especially in that bowl game, there wasn't anybody more dangerous than De Niro last year. Corey Boyd, he played redshirt freshman, free safety, and I was actually surprised with how well he played. Made a lot of tackles and came in with an interception. I didn't think he got burned too much this year. He's got good speed, which is something I look for in my safeties. I want guys who have good range so I can be comfortable playing a cover 2. And Boyd really exceeded my expectations this year. Not really statistically, but he was consistent, I thought. Next up, senior, Sam Graves. Now, statistically, this wasn't the year I expected, and you can look at this number right here, the interceptions. I had predicted last offseason for 10 interceptions. I was pretty shy of that mark, but a lot of dropped interceptions and pass deflections do equal some production, and he was a pretty good player his senior season. Maybe not a shutdown corner, but definitely above average, and I'm definitely going to miss him as a number 1 corner. It's going to be hard this year with our top 2 corners moving on. Next is Dan Smith, another senior that I recruited along with Sam Graves in that first recruiting class. 4 sacks, had a forced fumble, and 48 tackles. Just another consistent linebacker for us, very good in the running game, not so good in the passing game. Eric Parker, opposite corner of Sam Graves. Decent year for him, only 1 interception. I thought our cornerbacks played all right, but didn't get the turnovers I'd like. Matt Smith, Jr., who's been our nickel back for the last 2 years, and now he's going to be a starter, it looks like. So we need to see him make a big jump in his play. Going down the list, Matt Henderson, I thought played pretty well as a defensive end. Maurice Manning, another big senior for us. And 6 sacks in his senior season. He actually, look at these numbers. 23 sacks in his 4-year career. That's pretty good for a 321-pound defensive tackle who may be a nose tackle at the next level. I'm sure he's going to be drafted. And that was our Rashid Hageman replacement. And I thought he was great his whole career, basically. What other numbers do I want to go through? Well, we had Owen Salzwedel, who's graduating. He played pretty solid, especially when we gave him time to rest. Like, around mid-season, I started with formation subs a lot more on the defensive line, and so I was mixing in Sean Wright and Jerry Jackson a lot more, and immediately our pass rush was more dominant. So you're going to see a lot more of that this season. Another guy you're going to see, 5'11", 193-pound, undersized outside linebacker Jonathan Starks. I thought about moving him to safety, but he's been, a decent pass-rushing linebacker, and I'm not sure if he's going to start in the 4-3 defense, but he's definitely going to play in the 3-3-5. So, he's interesting. I'm just concerned with him in the running game, so I don't think I want him in the base defense. Let's see, who else is there? Sean Wright, situational pass rusher, probably a full-time pass rusher now, had 3 sacks in limited play. Damaris Peppers, thought he played solid along with Maurice Manning in the middle, 3 sacks from him. John Meyer, he's going to start this coming year. He was in the same recruiting class as Maurice Manning, but I redshirted him. Jerry Jackson, big 6'7", 273-pound end. This is going to be our main situational pass rusher this year coming off the bench. His time is ready, and he's a senior this year, so it's now or never, basically. And here are a few more stats down the list. A lot of guys who had a couple tackles off of interceptions, it looks like. Taylor Larson, though, I actually really liked him. There were some formations we ran where there was 3 safeties, and for the most part, he held up in pass coverage and had an interception, our first on the year, actually, as a team. So I'm more than confident in him if he has to get any playing time, especially in those 3 safety formations. But I think I pretty much talked about all the main guys. Those are the stats. I know this is taking a while. I like to talk about these players. But we're graduating 15 seniors this season. Let me grab some standings and go through the awards quick as I'll look at the polls. We'll be into the actual off-season very soon. We have over 1,000 people in here now in 1 second. Oops. Where did my chat go? There it is. I'm trying to make a friend a moderator quick. Oh, currently unavailable. Okay, I can't load it. Oh well. Chris should be here soon. Anyway, here is your top 25, and the Big Ten has become a much more dominant football conference. Nebraska was a team we beat this year, and they ended up being the #1 team in the nation. And we almost had a chance to play in the Big Ten championship, but they ended up winning their last game of the year and ended up winning the Big Ten. And we'll play Penn State in the national championship game. So Big Ten versus Big Ten. That's pretty crazy. Where's the SEC at? Oh, number 4 and 5. That's cool. And at number 10 as well. Army's all the way up there at number 9. But let me go through. Obviously, this year was the first time we were consistently in the top 25. Well, we weren't in the whole year, but we were in for a number of weeks. And we finished at 17. Obviously, we'll probably be pretty high in the preseason rankings, I would assume, with us winning our bowl game and all. Let's look at conference standings quick. We finished actually 5th in the Big Ten overall, 2nd in our division. But the Big Ten's strong, and look at the teams in our way. Ohio State, Rutgers, Nebraska, Penn State. It's not going to be easy to compete at the very top here, but we're obviously close at 9 and 4. Ton of talent on this team, so I'm confident we can fight with these guys. Heisman winner is Johnny Stanton, red-shirted senior quarterback from Nebraska. So the #1 team is going to be losing its quarterback following this year, and here are the other Heisman candidates down the list, but Johnny Stanton ended up winning. Next up, we'll go through the All-Americans and the All-Conference players. We have, how many All-Americans from Minnesota? None on offense, it appears. But Maurice Hudson, De Niro Laster, and Ryan Santoso are all All-Americans. And the cool thing is that Marcus Hudson is actually going to be on the team next year, so I have to talk about him as an All-American linebacker in his first year, and still getting 2 more years to play, so he could be very good. A bit surprised he was first-team All-American, though. Second team, down the list again. Where's our offense? Where's Andy at? Nothing for second team. Freshman, Andy McKenzie is your all... What is this considered? What is this considered? Is this still All-American? All-American freshman? Freshman All-American? Andy McKenzie is the top quarterback as a freshman. I'll take that. And, oh boy, look who one of the running backs is. Remember this guy in the Wisconsin game? Chris McKnight. He was very good. Anybody else for us? I can't think of any other freshmen. Oh, besides Corey Boyd, of course. So it looks like Corey Boyd and Andy McKenzie, freshman All-Americans for us. That's awesome. And now all Big Ten. First team, obviously, Andy's not going to top a Heisman winner there. And where's the offense? Like, Doug Duckett deserves some love. We get Hudson and Laster as all Big Ten, and Santoso. Second team, we get Alex Mays, our left tackle, who is graduating. But, man, Maurice Manning? Andre Gaines? Where is Doug Duckett? I need some love for Doug Duckett. There isn't any. Award winners. We'll go through here quick. Stanton gets the Maxwell, the Walter Camp, the Benaric or Benaric. I don't know the pronunciation on all of these, but Laster gets 2nd and Hudson gets 7th. Nagurski, Laster is up there. O'Brien, nothing. Walker, nothing. Bletnikoff, where is my man Doug Duckett? Okay, these guys are up here because of touchdowns, basically. All these guys have double-digit touchdowns. So that's the key, I guess. Mackey, obviously not doing enough with Adam Kirkpatrick to win that one. Outland, nothing for us. Remington, nothing for us. Lombardi. There we go, best linebacker. We got 3 in the top 10, our 3 starters. That's awesome. The Thorpe Award, we get nothing in the top 10. And Ryan Santoso ends up as the best kicker. Of course, he was All-American. And David Clark gets best returner, which I'm never really sure why he gets best returner. I think it's for his total kick returning yards, because he doesn't really get a lot of touchdowns or long returns. His agility isn't that great. It's more of his speed. Alrighty, so what do we have next? I might go through anything. Did I miss anything? Went through the stats. I think we're ready to move on, guys. I think we are actually ready to move on to Season 6. Let's go to the end of bowl season, guys. Here we go. 1,178 viewers in the stream so far. Leon for team captain, please. He's going to make the team first. I probably shouldn't have said that now, but how about the Andy McKenzie guy? How about him? Please, Kane, Paul Patrick. I think someone just said Paul Patrick moved to quarterback. I don't think we want that to happen. We got Andy McKenzie. He's staying there. Leon Daniels or Riot. It is not just one person. It's so many people saying it. Leon's about to be a senior. I think in his career he has 1 tackle. Can you set captains? I don't believe so. Hey! I just got a trophy. Sweet. Cut Leon and we riot. Or we riot. What if someone cool transfers to us? What if Chris McKnight transfers to us? I don't want to play against him again. He was really good. Are you going to use this draft class in Rams franchise? No. I have a separate Dynasty for that. It's one where I've edited ratings and the years of player to make them in certain draft classes. Like editing Clowney to be a senior, so we had to go to the draft in the first year. But we have finished this one, and I'll be working on, I have my second Dynasty. I don't play in it, I simulate through it just to get classes for Rams. So no, I'm not going to export this one. But let's see, end of the season. I want to look at the bowl game results before we move on one more time. Everything is Leon. Oh, so when are you introducing Randy McKenzie? You heard that right. It's not Andy, it's Randy McKenzie, who is a Road to the Show pitcher I've been working with. You may see him on my channel. Who wants Randy McKenzie? I'm going to post a video. I'll see what people think, and if you guys like it, you'll get more episodes of them. We'll see. Leon for wide receiver. Alright, let's go through the bowl game results. Boise State wins the New Mexico Bowl. Kind of focusing more on the bigger bowl games. Indiana wins the Little Caesars Bowl. I know it's not a bigger one, but I'm looking at Big Ten teams as well. Florida State beats Miami in whatever bowl that was. UCF beats Clemson. Michigan beats Baylor by 29. Houston over Oregon State. I want to see you in the national championship, though. Miami destroys Auburn. Where's Chris the dog when you need him? Chris, how come Auburn just got destroyed in the Chick-fil-A Bowl? What's up with that? We obviously beat Ole Miss in our game. Iowa beats Louisiana Tech. That's one of our bigger rivals now. And Rutgers gets demolished by Texas A&M in the Capital One Bowl. Alabama loses to Ohio State in the Outback Bowl. South Carolina beats California in the Rose Bowl. Oklahoma State loses to Louisville in the Fiesta Bowl. LSU takes home the Sugar Bowl. Orange Bowl to Georgia Tech. Cotton Bowl to Tennessee. Wow, a 1-point game, high scoring. Temple wins the Compass Bowl. There's too many bowls. And Nebraska are the BCS national champions. So that is the team with a big target on their back for Season 6. Oh, hi, Chris. How's it going? Wow, their Heisman Trophy winning quarterback only threw 16 passes? Because they ran it all day. But if you see here, Penn State's at 6. What's our ranking now? We won. 13, I'll take it. I like it, as long as we're not going down. So with that, guys, everybody say goodbye to Season 5 of the Minnesota Gophers Dynasty. It's time for Season 6. Here we go. Advancing to the off-season. Oh, we got some recruiting battle news. That's cool. I actually have pretty much all the big prospects I want, so there's nobody that I think I have to dump all my points into. Got a lot of XP. Goodbye, Season 5. Goodbye, Drew Watarski, Maurice Manning, Dan Smith, Eric Carter, De Niro Laster, Sam Graves, Eric Parker, Damaris Peppers. Yeah, of course, I'm going to be safe here. Time for Season 6 to get ready. Off-season time, guys. That is what we've been waiting for. Do I have to do anything with the coaching carousel? Like, I'm safe. And I have a 6-year extension. I'm entering year 2 of it, so... Alright, players leaving. Nobody transfer away. Martin Parker, you stay put. Jonathan Starks, stay. Alonzo Holland, same goes for you. I got plans for Season 6. Don't ruin them now. $1,231 viewers right now. Alright. Hopefully no one's going pro early either. Like, what if Andre Gaines is just going to go to the NFL? You see underclassmen or juniors going all the time now. So, I don't know. At least not in this dynasty. That's good. I don't think we've had a player go pro since Rashid Hagman. Coaching changes quick. Let's look at the Big Ten. Wow, Illinois' coach is now Brett Bielema. I'm sorry. Anybody else new? I don't know most of these coaches. Wait, we have a new... Oh, no. We have an extension for our defensive coordinator. Okay, okay. Bo Pelini now, or he's still at Nebraska. They re-signed theirs. They re-signed theirs. All right. Illinois is a little bit desperate with that hire. Let's go to the SEC, though. Oh, they're going to keep Gus Malzahn, who is safe for now. Yeah, a lot of the stuff has stayed the same in the SEC. Alright, players leaving. Please. Only be players that are seniors. No! 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 That's my only kicker! You're gonna play in all the games! I'm sorry! No! That's the only kicker I had! That's my only freaking kicker! No! I'm gonna have a walk-on kicker! No, this isn't happening. Who's gonna kick? Who is going to kick? Oh my god. I redshirted this kicker, and no. I cannot believe this happened. Leon can't kick. Alright, Drew Latarski projected to go round 1. What about my other guys? Is he going to be the only one? Maurice Manning would be drafted. Santoso would probably be drafted. Come on, that's it? So you're going to Houston. Kevin Curry. I don't know who's going to be able to kick. Maybe your punter? That's probably... Maybe it's going to be my punter. This sucks. I just lost my kicker the first thing of the offseason. I hope we get a kicker transferring here or something. Although he wouldn't be able to play till next year. I can still try to recruit a kicker while I have time, obviously. Let's look at the draft results. I hope it was more than Drew. Only Drew! Wow. That's it. Only Drew Wolatarski. Well, Alabama has like 10. Look at this team. Everywhere. You got 3 receivers in the top 3 rounds. I'm not going to spend too much time going through here. I'll look at Auburn's, though. Jonathan Ford. Let's look at some Big Ten teams. I want to see teams that we play. Illinois, nobody. Indiana, a couple. Daryl Chestnut, I'm glad he's gone. He was pretty good. Michigan. Wow, quite a few. I'm going to make sure we play Michigan this year, by the way. We haven't in the last 2 years, which doesn't make any sense. It's supposed to be a protected rivalry. Their Heisman Trophy winning quarterback didn't get drafted? Okay. I guess it's Troy Smith version 2, but worse. At least Troy went in the 4th. I think. A lot of guys gone from Ohio State. Penn State, a few. Purdue, no, nothing there. Rutgers, nothing. And I'm trying to get to Wisconsin. Why does W have to be so far away? That's it. All right. Transfer requests. Someone transfer here. No! No one ever transfers to us. Now, we gotta get a kicker. We have to get a kicker. You skipped Iowa and draft results. Whoops. Yeah, I think I started with Illinois and Indiana. Alright, so I guess we gotta go get a kicker. There's so much Leon Daniels already. Can I look at anybody's stats? Just to see if we have a guy who could play kicker. Like an athlete. Who's just really good. Let me check. Like, if Andy McKenzie... Could Andy McKenzie play kicker? Well, I can't even check here, so there's no point in me even trying right now besides my punter. Matt Morris, could he kick for us? Kick power of 90. I think he could get the job done. He might have to do double duty. Okay, guys, it's time to go into recruiting for the last time of Season 5. I already have a pretty good class. Like, I've gotten a lot of really good players. One second. We have the 28th ranked class right now, which doesn't mean a whole lot. But we have 5 4-stars, 3 3s, and a 2. And I'm going to show you guys who we have so far. And then, well, I'm probably going to add a couple kickers to the list first. Because regardless, I have to have a kicker on the roster. And I'd rather not have some crappy walk-on kicker. If I can get one myself, then I'm going to. Let's see, not committed. Minnesota is a 90 overall. Is this 1959? I've done some work. Let's just say that. Alright, need a kicker. Who's the easiest to get right now? Donald Brandt. Jorge Thibodeau. Harvey Mason. Tony O'Neill. Tom Berg. Byron Marshall. Michael Warren. Alright, so I think the only one worth scouting here is Donald Brandt. Maybe Jorge Thibodeau. It'd be a cool name to say every time he has to kick. Upgrade coach. Okay, let me do that quick. I wasn't sure if I had an upgrade. Put 9,500 in Bryant. Okay, yeah, we're all in on the kicker. That's why I have these extra points. Do I only get to go up 1? Oh, I have no upgrades. You guys said to check your coach upgrades or upgrade coach. I got nothing. No skill points, guys. So let's go back into recruiting. Let's scout these kickers quick. See if they're worth going after. Accurate. Okay. Jorge Thibodeau. Oh, nope. Donald Brandt. I could work with this. But to get him is not going to be easy. I have offered a scholarship. Is there anybody I haven't offered to who's actually good? Okay, there's a few. Let me look through each position right now. Well, first, actually, I'm going to show you guys who I already have committed for next year. So, basically, it's all defense. There's a few athletes who can play both ways, or offense, but I think they're going to play defense. Anyway, safety LaShawn Smith, 6'2", 197, a 3-star prospect. And he has, average speed for a safety, okay in coverage. Just a guy who I want to sit on the bench for a couple years before he gets any playing time. Up next, Calvin Hall. This is a good one. He is 6'2", 205, and has the speed I look for in a defensive back. Probably not good enough to play corner if you look at the ratings, but I think he could be a great safety. But again, I don't need a safety to play this year, so he's probably going to be redshirted, and hopefully he does not leave. Vincent Walker. I've talked about him before as a middle linebacker. Kind of shorter, 6 foot 252. And not particularly fast, but you can see the play recognition, the pursuit. Everything here just screams inside run-stopping linebacker to me. Next, this is my guy right here. This is my favorite guy so far. This one's my favorite. Reggie Carter. 6'5", 222 pounds, so he's built a lot like Maurice Hudson, but he's an outside backer. He's got good speed, and, you know, just looking at the ratings here, good hit power, good pursuit, good block shedding. Everything here you can work with. There's nothing that's a weak rating. So I like Reggie Carter and what I think he can bring to this team once it's his time. We always have good linebacker play. It's important. Up next, Max Harrell, defensive tackle. Obviously, graduating our 2 starters, we have to build up our depth and get those guys running through the pipeline. So another decent defensive tackle prospect to develop. Next, Greg Kelly, one of our highest rated defensive players, or prospects, I guess. 6'4", 255. And I'm not sure, but he may play as a true freshman, because I want to have at least 4 guys as pass rushers rotating in. And right now I only can think of 3 that I'm talking about defensive ends, that is, not linebackers included, but he might play as a true freshman. Outside backer Josh Mackey, not as much speed as Reggie Carter, but again, another solid prospect to work with. Mike Moore, a safety. A lot of safeties in this one. Decent speed, okay in coverage, kind of like LaShawn Smith. A little bit faster, though. And then, check out what I found late in scouting. I don't think I've showed you guys this person. I don't think I have. David McClelland. 6'3", 187, junior college transfer from Wisconsin. This guy's ratings are insane. 96 speed, 88 man coverage, 84 zone, 87 press. I mean, do I have to look any further? Yeah, he can play a receiver. He's got the spectacular catch, the catching, the route running. Not great skills after the catch, but as a defensive back, 6'3", great speed, can press and cover. Look what I managed to find. A +8 gem. Yeah, and we got him. David McClelland. This guy will knock your socks off. I'm excited for David McClelland. And then we have everybody else. I haven't really sorted this as best as I could, but most of these players we are in first place for. Only 1 running back on the list. That's Marcus Sanders, who I haven't offered a scholarship to, but we're in first place for him. 5'10", 208. But I don't really see a ton here that I need to work with, so I'm not going to have him as a high priority. But we are graduating 2 running backs, Berkeley Edwards and Lamar Washington, so I kind of do want to get one. But then there's also an athlete that I'll show you that can play running back. And that is Gerald Valentine, who's just a little bit better. So how far away are we from Gerald Valentine? We're pretty good, and it's Houston, where Kevin Curry transferred to, so I want to beat them for him. Wildcat, Martindale, and Pratt, that's a possibility. I've thought about the Wildcat a lot because Andy McKenzie could play receiver. And if we can get someone who could play quarterback there and then put Pratt, McKenzie, Martindale out there, it could be fun. So Gerald Valentine is the guy I'm trying to get. Mario Minor, I forget what he could play. 6 foot, 213. He might have been a receiver. Yeah, definitely not a defensive player. Decent route running, okay catching. You know, there's not really a lot here that jumps out at me. You know, the route running isn't that great. The release isn't. Catching, nothing there. I'm not really sure why he stayed on the list. I definitely want Gerald Valentine more. I'm going to drop 50 into him for now. I'm putting 50 into guys I know that I want to get. For sure. Marcus Sanders, I just don't really see a lot here that I'm impressed with. Receiving, I guess the juke and the elusiveness are pretty cool. Yeah, Minor isn't going to fumble with good carrying, but he might not get far anyway. Receivers. We got a few on the list here. We're graduating Eric Carter and Drew Latarski. So Henry Hooper, if I offered to all these guys. Have I offered to any of them? I have to Henry Hooper. There's Sean Heron and Lee James. Wonder if his middle name is Braun. Anyway, Hooper, 85 speed. What was the size? It was pretty good. Yeah, 6'3", 6'1", 6'2". So all these guys have the size to play on the outside. And Hooper, the spectacular catch is nice. The catching concerns me. But everything else looks pretty good. And what's our lead? A lot. I don't need to do much here. That might be all I need right there. Sean Heron. Wow, what's the difference between these two guys? Heron can catch. Not as good of a spectacular catcher. Not as good in traffic. Which was easier to compare, guys, but I like Hooper because, he's a little bit like Drew Latarski without the hands. With the jumping. Well, I guess, I don't know if that's a good comparison because, well, route running is pretty good. I don't know. Need a good outside receiver. So that's what we got here. Good jumping and spectacular catch with the route running. Just got to make sure the hands, we don't have another Doug Duckett here. Sean Heron. How close am I for him? Oh, I'm not even close. I'm not going to try to get Sean. Not worth it. Take him off the list. Yeah, Hooper is a JUCO, by the way. That's why the JUCOs always have lower star ratings. Lee James, 6'2", 183. There's some good speed, but the catching isn't great. Really, all this is speed. There really is nothing else. We are in first. So I'm not really going to be too aggressive in getting him. Tight end. Blake Brown. Only a 65 overall. I just wanted somebody to develop. 6'5", 257. And this was a weak tight end class. I tried scouting a lot of guys, and there wasn't much there. So I wanted him as, a backup blocking tight end, really. But we are pretty far down, so I'm not sure I'm going to really try to get him. I'm going to go to the big list. Let's look at guys who I do want to get. Okay, Ronnie Osborne, who we are... Come on! That's a big enough lead. There's no way Oregon is catching up. I'm putting 5 on him. Make sure the scholarship is there. It is. He's from Rock Hill, South Carolina, which is where Cordero Patterson is from. Anyway. Size, speed, ability. It's all there. Not much else to say. Let's get Ronnie Osborne here. So you like Hooper over Lee James? Yeah. Let me look at it again. I mean, James has the speed. Doesn't have the release or the catching. Route running, nothing special. Elusiveness, trucking. He's got carrying, that's it. I don't know, maybe if you move him to running back. But even then, he's not going to make anybody miss. And his acceleration's kind of weak. Hooper, there's a lot more to like with Hooper. Come on now. Especially with the acceleration being so high, he probably hits his first 20 yards faster than Lee James. 85 speed, 93 jump. All you need is a catching. So yeah, I definitely want Hooper more. Hooper at running back. 6'3", 196-pound running back. The ball carrier vision. Okay, I see why you guys are saying that now with the carrying and ball carrier vision being so high. But there's nothing in terms of making people miss or running through people. And he doesn't have great speed. So he wouldn't be much of a running back, especially with the talent we already have. I may have to do some extra recruiting here because a lot of these guys aren't that good. Noah Hawley. This is a close race. And I want more guards, so yes, I'm putting the 50 on him for now. Adam Roach. We are in first for him. And I want some more tackle depth. He's a right tackle most likely, so we'll put 50 on him. Alton Gaddis, pass rushers. And we're probably going to get him. I'll put 50 on him for now. Tony Hunter, same situation. Let's just put the 50 on him. Ooh, he's a defensive tackle. I thought he was a defensive end at first. But I still want him. Mario Minor. Carrying is good. Catching is actually good for if you wanted to consider him a running back. Break tackle's okay. Other than that, not a lot stands out. Are you going to put 10,000 on the kicker? Probably not. I'm probably going to do some extra scouting here, because we have plenty of points to do it. Blake Brown. How far are we down? 960? Yeah, I can't really justify putting a ton of points on this guy, other than we could use another tight end. I think we only have 2 on the roster, so I wanted to get one this year, but there wasn't many good ones. I scouted a bunch. Kyle Wright, outside linebacker. I like the speed. However, a lot more work to be done. Probably not, maybe a safety. Especially at 6'1", 228. We have to overcome Washington to get him. Do I have a scholarship offer on him? Do I want to offer a scholarship? Why not? I'll put 50 there. Caleb Wilson, another end. I'm trying to build this pass rushing depth. You can see I'm serious about it. And all these guys I have big leads on. Oh boy, our pass rushing depth chart's going to look insane this year. Marcus Sanders. I've already talked about him a little bit. Just don't see a lot here to work with. Well, actually, might have got him confused with somebody else, because the elusiveness, juke, spin, and stiff arm are good, but the carrying is a concern. Now, he would not play his freshman year, obviously. So, I don't know. I might put some points. I'll put a 5 on him, because he's a maybe. Tom Jordan. I'm in first place for him. Just a low-rated prospect. We got other options. I'll take Tom Jordan off the list. Emmanuel Harrison. Pretty decent speed. Other areas need work. Put 5 there for now. And then Donald Brandt, who I definitely want to get, and I'm not sure how many points I need to put on him. For now, I'm going to drop 4K on the kicker, because I don't have a kicker. Kevin Curry was like, yo, I'm out of here. I'm going to Houston. Would 4K be enough? Let's check the... That might be enough to overcome. I think so. All the points on the kicker. I'm going to do a little bit more scouting, though. We're going to see if there's anything else we can uncover. I do a lot of scouting throughout the year, so I'm not sure what we could possibly find. I'm just going to look for anybody who's not committed and sort it by position. Actually, I'm going to lower this list a little bit by making the percent locked less than 50%, because anybody over 50 probably not going to have a chance at getting, so I just took half of them out of the race. So it looks like J.R. Hill is one of the best and easier to get with the lock percentage down. So let's look at it by position. Do we need a quarterback? We already have an Andy. So probably not. Halfbacks, Brian Randall. Well, he's first place for us. All season he stayed in first place and we never scouted him. I got to give him a look. John Davis will scout. DeAndre Cook will scout. Lamar Harris, I already did scout. Did I scout any of these guys here? No. Dale Schaffer. A lot of these have really low ratings. We'll see some other positions here in a second. Aaron McDonald. I'd like to get a tight end to uncover one here late. So what do we have at the top here? Hassan Thomas. I scouted you. Yeah, I spend like a lot of time. I'll play a game and then I'll spend like another hour just scouting and looking at recruiting stuff. Why isn't he on my board? Must have been something bad about this 6'5" guy. Oh, the speed's nothing special. Carrying's pretty good. Acceleration's bad. Yeah, it's just not what I like to work with. Zach Jackson. Alright. Yeah. Remember when I said tight ends were hard to find? I don't even see one. I'm not interested in these one-star players. This is how little there is left. Vernon Campbell. 56. I'm going to have to pass. They could get better, but not that much better, usually. Yeah, I'll scout the guy who has us in first, though. If he's a plus 13, I'll be happy. J.R. Hill. Sure, why not? Dwayne Blunt. Oh, he's a bust. Kyle Wilson. Hey! That name is familiar. They didn't scout him? I don't need any more outside linebackers, though. That's enough. Inside linebackers. I can put 3 more guys on the list. Another Steve Smith. Corner. We have a lot of depth already. And safety, we already got like 20. And the athletes, Philip Lee. Probably a linebacker with those measurables. Kevin Cody. We'll give him a shot. And I've already said no to John West, so we'll move on. That's probably another end. Pratt should be kick returner, punt returner. He might be this year to get him on the field more. So let's check out these unscouted guys. Any gems here hiding? We have Brian Randall, 64. Oh, what do we got here? 86 speed, 73 elusiveness. Okay, juke and spin. Carrying is down. Not a good pass catcher. So not a ton there. John Davis, how about you? Are you better? Hey, a +4. Not a good catcher. Good spin, juke elusiveness. Where's the carrying? Not that great. DeAndre Cook. Yeah, slow. Nothing here. Alright, Aaron McDonald. Ooh, a +5, but his acceleration is bad. Aaron McDonald. .61", 191. So 90 speed, 80 spin, 70 brake tackle, 71 truck. That's a good set of ratings to work with. 59 carrying, though. Can any of these guys hold on to the ball? Hassan Thomas. 62. Can't catch. Can't make anybody miss. and low acceleration. Vernon Campbell. Goodbye, Vernon Campbell. Now the linebackers. J.R. Hill. Ooh, this is good. Look at that hit power. Look at that hit power from J.R. Hill. Offer. Kyle Wilson. 6'7". And he's a +4. I gotta go for him too. Move him to inside linebacker though. Just a big tree in the middle. Then Kevin Cody. What do we got here? What are his measurables? 6'1", 209. 88 speed, 85 excel. Not a defender. Decent catching and route running. Good elusiveness. Could he play running back, though? Carrying is 69. Spin, juke, break tackle are good. This is a running back right here for me. He could play receiver, too. But I like him more as a running back. Linebacker U, that's what we're going to be. All we're going to have is dominant linebackers. We're going to run a 3-7-1 for our defense. Kane, you can put that 6'5" receiver with bad acceleration at tight end. Hey, I didn't think about that. Anybody big enough? Oh, are you talking about Hooper? Definitely not Hooper. It had to be an athlete then. I forget who he was talking about now. How big is Kevin Cody? Yeah, I doubt any of these guys can move the tight end. Dominic Carter must be the linebacker coach for Minnesota. He's bringing us all this great talent. And Dominic Carter was the man. Alright, let's weed out these running backs now. We got to figure out which one or two to go after. Let's see. Marcus Sanders has the elusiveness, spin move, and juke move blend. And the carrying will get better with development. Brian Randall. Better carrying, better speed, it looks like, and acceleration. Any of these guys catch? Not really. Oh, he's got better release. John Davis. Like, these guys, there's not much separating them. This one has the most complete blend, so I definitely think I'm going to go after Aaron McDonald. But none of these guys are going to catch anything. I'm going to drop John Davis. And I'm going to stick with Marcus Sanders there. Then I also have the Jared Valentine guy. Receivers, we got Lee James here. And my goal is to come away with at least 6 players here because I have 15 seniors and 1 transfer. So actually probably 6, we need 7. I think I already have 9 in the class. So I don't want to have a bunch of walk-ons. So 20 through 28, so only 8 it looks like. Or that is 9, never mind. So we definitely want Kevin Cody. And we definitely want Kyle Wilson. 6'1", 209. Put a 50 on him for now and bump him up the list. Kyle Wright at 6'7". Gotta work with some linebackers here. Or no, that was Kyle Wilson, never mind. Got Kyle Wright, Kyle Wilson. It's confusing. 6'7". Bump these guys up the list. How am I gonna... I got like a bunch of guys who it's like, yeah, I kind of want them. And I got 10,000 points to spread between all of them. J.R. Hill. This one might be hard to get, though. So if we do want J.R. Hill, it's going to have to be a serious push. Then there's Lee James. Let's look at his ratings one more time. He's 6'2", 183. I have not offered a scholarship yet. And he's got decent speed. There's not much else besides the carrying and the ball carrier vision. And what are we in for him? First? We are in first. I'll offer. So now Blake Brown, just give up. What are we down by? 960. Kane. When I said to go to that 6'5" receiver, the one you looked at in scouting, the one you didn't add to your board, let me look at it. Multiple people were sending that message, so clearly you guys are trying to get my attention. 6'5". I could also just look for receivers who are greater than 230 pounds. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in the high height so I can find him easier. Now it's only 38 guys. Ryan Davis. Kenny Block. Or do we even know? Whoops, I went to the wrong guy. This would just be rolling the dice. Strength is low, so that might be an indication of poor block ratings. .83 speed. How hard would it be to get him? We're in fourth, so maybe I'll take a chance here. I'm going to look at receivers quick, because now I'm thinking about this tight end conversion. So, let's look at receivers. Is there anybody in this range? I didn't think so. So I'm looking for kind of the heavier receivers that may be better conversions to tight end. Scott Bradshaw. Oh, deal breaker. I'd like a nice 230, 240. Gary DeAngelis. But he's 90% locked. That's like my own Grady Watkins, who's 100% locked. Yeah. Even if I wanted to get Gary DeAngelis, it's a cool name. That's a mountain I'm not going to be able to overcome. I'll look at any receiver quick in this range to see if there's like a little bit shorter guy who might be able to play tight end. But I don't expect to really find a whole lot here. I would have liked to try out DeAngelis. Alright, here we go. Vinny Thomas. 6 foot 237. 305 bench. It's not going to show my rating, so I have to do my best guess, I get, with these guys. So, Matt Harrison. Can't even go after him. What do we got here? Brandon Foreman. Yeah, these guys, the range is too high. So yeah, getting a tight end just does not seem possible. Is there... How many total are available? 33. But let me guess, they all have a high lock percentage. Yeah, lowest is 59. I didn't scout the ones with those huge lock percentages, but I would like a walk-on. I've already looked at Canada. It's one of the first things I always check. Alright, so can we dwindle this list down anymore? I want like 6 or 7 guys. We have 21 available. Let's do that scouting quick. On Vinny Thomas. What was he? 6 foot 237. But the strength is so low, I don't think it's worth it. Alright, let's move on now, guys. We gotta get through recruiting here. So let's take the kicker, throw him on top of the board. Kyle Wilson. I'm going to look at positions quick. Receiver. Can we take down one of these guys that we don't necessarily need? Did I scout Ryan Davis? Oh, yeah, I did a while ago. 57 strength. 47. So, Lee James and Henry Hooper. Ryan Davis. He's just got the size that's intriguing. 6'5", 224. I have not offered a scholarship. And I have to overcome a 355 deficit. 80 route running is decent. Catching, with a couple of years of development, he'd probably be a decent receiver. Maybe never great. But I'd rather probably go after Hooper. What do I need for Hooper? What's the... Okay, we're up by a lot. So I'll put 100 in him for now. Lee James... I got about 10,000 to work with. 9,480 to be exact. I'll put 100 in James for now. I know this takes forever. It's just the way I do things. So maybe I could try to get Blake Brown. Because I do want a tight end. He's not a receiving threat, though. That's the problem. Not much of a receiving threat, anyway. Don't get Hooper, he's a JUCO. I like JUCOs. It's okay. Alright, now I'm going through guys that I want, but I have a big lead on. So, Adam Roach. I'm going to put about 500 on him. Guard. Noah Hawley. This is a fight right here for Noah Hawley. A big guard. 6'7", 282. And we are in the lead. So I'm concerned about Nebraska and UMass. And remember, if we obviously lose this guy in Nebraska, we have to play against him. I don't like losing prospects to teams we play against. I'll put 1,000 in him for now. These defensive ends, Alton Gaddis, big lead. So I'm going to have him get 100. Caleb Wilson gets 100. Tony Hunter is going to get 50. So now let me sort the board. Let me put the guys who we have big leads on further down the list. I consider big leads to be like this. So we see who we actually need to put points into. Hooper, that's a big lead. We should get him fairly easy, but you never know with him being a 74. Because I've had players where teams put like 7,000 points into him, and I have no chance. Any other big leads I missed? Caleb Wilson. Okay, Ronnie Osborne is kind of the cutoff. He's the one that I know is low, and I'll put everybody else below him. Henry Hooper, that's a big lead. Mario Minor. Now it's kind of just like, do you want this guy or not? I have offered a scholarship. Let's see, what's the carrying? 88, not going to fumble. Has good speed, not good acceleration. Might be a better... I don't know if he should play running back or receiver. Kind of leading receiver a little bit, because the route running is decent and the catching is good, but the carrying is also good. But the elusiveness, you know, I need some elusiveness or some trucking or something from a running back, so I can kind of take or leave Mario Minor for now. So a few more points to allocate, just over half. Gerald Valentine, who has great acceleration, that's what I look for. Good catching. Actually has decent hit power and tackle ratings in pursuit. Do I have to open up the books and talk a little bit more defense with this guy? 6 foot 226. See, not great in coverage, so that's why I immediately wanted to put him on offense. And that's probably where he's going to stay. It was either a receiver or running back, and I'd lead running back with his elusiveness, juke, and spin. So I definitely want Gerald. And we have a roughly 1,000-point lead there. So I'll put 1,000 in Valentine for now. Kane, you have to fill their bar, they won't commit. Yes, I know. That's one of the issues we ran into last year, I believe, in our last offseason, with a player who we were very close. So I have to make sure I come back to here and make sure I'm getting guys with big leads locked up good. But Blake Brown, do I want to go after Blake Brown? See, he's not great. It's more of a need than a BPA situation. Not that we're talking draft, but the need is greater than the talent. So that's why I'm kind of leading no right now. Kyle Wright. This was the guy with pretty good speed. Put 500 there. Yeah, we're just going to take Blake Brown off the board. Kane, do you have any recruits from Canada? Yeah, I think so. Maybe. Actually, I'm not sure. Oh, we do. Mike Moore, safety from Quebec. Any others? Couple Minnesotas in there. So no, it's just one, Mike Moore. Donald Brandt. Alright, Kyle Wilson, 6'7". What do we have to do to get this guy? Probably a lot. And there's J.R. Hill. Adam Roach. I want to make sure I can fill this guy's bar. Okay, we're in a battle, so it is full. Will 500 be enough? Maybe. I'll put like 800 to be safer. Noah Hawley. I'll up this to about 15 because he's a good guard and I need more. 1550. Valentine. Put 1250. Or 12 is enough, hopefully. James. Yeah, this is a guy whose bar I probably wouldn't fill. Minor. I could definitely fill that one. What about Ronnie Osborne and the guys down here? See, 5 might not be enough. And I want to get Osborne, so... What? You think 200 would be enough, right? And then Caleb Wilson. Like, you want to make sure these bars get filled. So I might not be going very hard after those linebackers because I want to get these guys that we're close with. And Gaddis, we're going to have to put quite more in to get him to commit, probably. Like, I'm not sure how many points you need to get progress here, so I'm kind of just giving my best guess. A little more on Osborne, they say. Well, 200 to get that last 2%, I'll go 250. Minor. We are pretty close. So if I put 400 here, that should be enough. Lee James, I might take him off the board. I don't know. He's just got the decent speed, and that's basically it. And carrying, I think. So that means if I want to get one of these guys, it's going to be very, very hard. Kyle Wright, though, 72%. This is a guy to go after. What about J.R. Hill? 18%. That would... I don't think we get him. So we're almost to the end here of recruiting. Lee James, I'm saying probably no to. Keep him on the board. Mario Minor, put 400. Kevin Cody, an athlete. 21%. Probably not going to do much here. Hooper, probably a little bit more than 3. I'll put 5. 550. Osborne, Wilson, be a little bit safer here. Gaddis, that will hopefully be enough. Now if we go back to the top, there's J.R. Hill, who would be, you know, would 3K even be enough to get this guy? Because we could have an easier chance getting Kyle Wright. When we already have some good outside linebackers, we could go for the more sure thing, that is obviously a 6'7" giant. So that's what I'm going to do. We already have a couple good outside linebackers. Now I want a guy to develop for a while, and that's going to be Kyle Wright. We got Reggie Carter, and I forget the other guy's name. You can get J.R. Hill very easily. Put at least 6K on the kicker. Yeah, I'm not sure how hard it's going to be to get the kicker. I'll go 5K on a kicker because Kevin Curry transfer. That's a third of my points. Put 5,005. So I'm going through the list one more time. I'm going to boost these guys up a little bit. So it looks like we're not going to get these guys then. Marcus Sanders, probably not. Emmanuel Harrison. These weren't high priority guys anyway. I'll put like 10 points on these guys. then probably not try to get Kyle Wilson. I want to get Kyle Wright. Put a little bit more on the kick, because we have to come from the very bottom if 6K isn't enough. Not many more points. And then I think I'll just dump the rest into Noah Hawley. This is going to be a battle. Is this even enough? 6K for the kicker? Do I need that much? I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. The 6-7, yeah, I got the Kyle, it's same initials too. I kept getting them mixed up. So I just dumped all these points into Kyle Wright thinking he was the 6-7 version, when he's not. And then you got Kyle Wilson down here, who we have never even went after. Thanks for helping me catch that. And that kind of sucks. That's a big deficit. This is one of the more difficult recruiting off seasons I've done, because it's a lot of guys who I've never scouted, and there's just the quantity of players here is huge. So I'm gonna Kyle Wilson. It would be very hard to get him to commit. Kyle Wilson, go for it. Don't even go after the kicker. Forget Wright, put the rest on Wilson. I want Wilson. I don't feel we need Wright that much. He's got good speed, and that's decent man coverage. I'm not going to stop going after Wright. But I'll take a shot at Wilson. Like, I don't know exactly how this recruiting works. Like, you got to fill the bar. You think, anyway. On all these guys. Whoops. What did I just do? There aren't enough for Wilson. That's what I'm thinking. Like, there's probably not enough. Don't put that much on the kicker. Just looking through these guys one more time. Kyle Wilson's there. We've got a ton of outside linebackers. We already have a lot. $3K off the kicker. 5K is enough for the kicker. 4.5. I'll take a little bit off Brandt. I'll put him at like 5.2. I'll take a shot here at Wilson. I think I'm done messing with this for now. Or completely. Donald Brandt. Can we get our kicker? Trying to get a couple linebackers, obviously. Then we got, I don't know. There's Noah Hawley right there that I really want to get a guard. I need to beef up our offensive line. We have some linebackers already. So as much as I'd like to go after Wilson, I'm putting more on Hawley. This is one of our battles. You guys saw how bad our guard play was last year. I'm taking Wilson off the list. Maybe I'll keep him on the list. But I'm getting more into Hawley. Then I'll take a shot at Wilson with the rest. That's it. Alright, that's enough. Recruiting is done. Donald Brandt, Kyle Wright, Kyle Wilson. Hopefully we get Noah Hawley. Gerald Valentine. Alright, let's go see what our final recruiting class is going to look like. Regardless, this is what it already looks like, and that's pretty damn good. 2 outside linebackers there, so it's not a big need, although we did just graduate 2 starting outside linebackers. We got some guys ready. I think we'll be okay. Hopefully I can insta-commit soon and this gets a little bit easier. Alright. Signing day, here we go. I want at least 7. Or at least 6, because that would give us enough to... Oh no, I do need 7, because we had a kicker transfer. Kevin Curry, I can't stand you. 15 guys graduating, already have 9 committed, 1 transferred. Come on, what are we going to get here? It's signing day. I needed the kicker. Am I going to get the kicker? I kind of wish it wouldn't show me on this screen who committed. I wish I had to go into recruiting to check. And here we go. Wow, I did not get Noah Hawley. I have a top 10 class, though. Alright, let's see. Let's get back in there and see what we got. How many total players did we get? Well, I'm not going to check it there. I'm going to go to the recruiting board and see here. Come on. Wow. We came up 715 shy on the kicker. Actually, nobody got him. Huh. How did we not get Alton Gaddis? Oh, that's not... I keep getting confused. I thought that was Kyle Wilson for a second. We still got him somehow. Oh, wow. Only down by 650. Okay, I look dumb for that one now. Especially because I didn't get Hawley. If I would have kept it there, we would have gotten Kyle Wilson. It's so hard to figure out how this stuff works. We lost out on Adam Roach, Noah Hawley, Gerald Valentine. We get Lee James, who I didn't even want. See, I didn't fill the bar on Lee James, and we still got him. So the science as to how all this works is still very unclear. Did I put any points on Lee James? Mario Minor, Kevin Cody are gone. We get Tony Hunter, Emmanuel Harrison, Henry Hooper, Ronnie Osborne, Caleb Wilson. So I'm cool with this class. I wish we had gotten Wilson, a linebacker, if that's how close it was going to be. But I'm cool with this. So I guess our punter is going to be a kicker. That or we're going to get a really good walk-on. We'll see. I got enough signings, though. I definitely have enough. We have a top 10 class. Loaded up on 3 stars this time. So here is the full recruiting class. Is this my largest? This is 20 guys. There's a lot of players here. And they're pretty much all defense. How many offensive players are there? 1. Who is this? I don't even know who that is. 2, 3. There's Randall up there. We got a quarterback. Oh, wait. Are some of these walk-ons? We got a quarterback who's 6'5", 231, and I know nothing about him. Oh, well, I got a top 10 class, and I still don't know how the hell I'm doing all this. I've learned quite a bit during the season. I still have to learn a lot about the off-season recruiting, but during the season, last 2 years, I think I've knocked it out of the park. I mean, some people are going to be kind of upset with, you know, maybe I did certain things bad on here, but it's not all straightforward. So moving on to position changes, we have not seen, I have to say this every year, we have not seen the advancement of ratings yet. So I can't wait to see that. Go to recruiting strategy and see if your computer is doing anything. It isn't. I know it's not. So that's what we're bringing in. We're bringing in Jamal Brown at 56 overall. He can't even throw. No, that's not cool with me. Halfbacks. So we get Brian Randall. Will he make the team? We'll see. We got 4 backs up here already. Senior, junior, junior, freshman. So I need to get some running backs here soon. So maybe Brian Randall does make the team. I moved A.J. Clark to fullback, remember? So I can move him back to running back, actually. Like the spin, juking, all that stuff are pretty good. I think I'm going to move him back now. I moved him. I forget exactly why. Oh! If you continue, a walk-on will be added later. Okay. Receiver. So I might get a walk-on fullback. That's hardly the worst thing. Receivers, we get Henry Hooper, Lee James, and Ethan Cross, who doesn't have good speed, not agile. 64 acceleration? You're not making the team. Nope. Tight end, I could use a walk-on here. Tackle, Mike Ryan. We've been working on the interior of the offensive line. I was hoping we could land that tackle, and we didn't. We got a few right tackles, though. But now, this is where it's fun. Look at all our pass rushers we have. Well, I guess 6. But I like what we've added. Some more defensive tackle depth. This guy's probably going to get cut. But who's going to start at linebacker? That's going to be interesting. Jonathan Starks, Reggie Carter. Obviously, all these guys in the middle, although Keith Campbell was a guy who I just moved to middle linebacker, I think, to meet a minimum. Or actually, I'm not sure why I did, because you don't need 5 middle linebackers. We got Leon Daniels here. What are Leon's... What's his kicking rating? I'm just wondering. Could he play kicker? Nope. Okay, so for anybody who said Leon could play kicker, no, he could not, actually. Hey, his coverage ratings are getting up there. And he's not even developed yet. Hey, Leon's going to be like a 56 when the new season rolls around, if he makes the team. Daryl Smith, Aaron Harrison, Keith Campbell. So we got Marcus Woods, Josh Mackey, Emmanuel Harrison, and Kyle Wright. A lot of linebacker depth added. And a new corner, Ronnie Osborne, with this nice list. This is a guy that'll watch out for, Joe Bennett, who's going to be a redshirt freshman. And obviously he's going to be towards an 80 overall. So he's going to get some playing time. This is going to be an interesting race, though, because we've barely seen Patrick, barely seen King, never seen Bennett, and Smith has only been a nickel. So, safeties, lots of safeties here now. Don't think we need 8. No kicker. And a few athletes to take care of. So, Vincent Walker will do the easy one first, middle linebacker. Game agrees with me, although he could play on the line too, but he's going to be a linebacker. Calvin Hall, I already talked about him as a safety. Let's see. Do I want him strong or free? Definitely strong, because Larson's our backup free. So we'll put him at strong safety. Is his hit power at least decent? It's actually pretty good. Not great, but we can live with it. He'd be better free safety. We'll put him at strong anyway. David McClelland. Where do you put this beast? What is he? He could be an 80 overall corner out of the gate. And he'd be a 80 overall receiver out of the gate, too. I think with 2 graduating corners, this choice is easy. Anybody else need to move before I move on? 2-way player? I've thought about that. We just did graduate 2 of our top 3 receivers as well. So McClelland might get some snaps on both sides. Thompson, Duckett, Clark. So yeah, I don't know, I moved AJ Clark from fullback to running back, but you need to have 2 fullbacks on the roster. So I might move him back just so I can continue developing and hold on to him that way. That's why I did it in the first place. Receiver. Here's our top 4. Hooper. Rollins won't play tight end with 97 speed. That'd be insane. Looking forward to this O-line getting better. Move Leon somewhere else. Leon to fullback. Oh, man. Buddy is your favorite middle linebacker. Leon Daniels has 76 acceleration, 47 break tackle, 28 truck. I can't do it. If he makes the team, at least he has the finesse moves. And these aren't like 40s. So he's going to stay where he is. But yeah, I think that we are good here. Not sure any of these guys could play tackle. Chris Leonard? Huh. I forget if there was someone I had moved. Let's see, he'd be the same at left tackle. I could balance out my tackles a little bit. Well, maybe. I'll see what their pass and blocking ratings are. Or their pass block to run block. Yeah, all these guys are right tackles for a reason. So, let's move on. I think we're done here. Not sure how many guys I'm going to have to cut, but some tough decisions might have to be made here in the secondary. Ryan Barnes are probably getting cut because obviously not going to carry that as a strong safety for number 4, but look at my safeties. You guys are all pretty good. I'm going to have to carry at least 7. Alright, we are done. So many safeties. But now, here's one of my favorite parts of the offseason. Maybe my favorite part. Training results. How much better did everybody get? We're about to find out.